Now, President Trump, when he came back into the White House, he announced that we would be going into a golden age of America again. You've heard him talk about that many times, right? Our country was dying, dead, dead. Now we're on fire. Everywhere we go, we're on fire. But it is the golden age of America. If you think about the country that President Trump had inherited when he went into the White House, we had an open invasion at our southern border. We had terrorists and criminals in our communities, in our cities. Public safety was a train wreck. Families were being victimized every single day. Our economy was struggling. We weren't respected on the world stage anymore. And in just 9 months, look at the fundamental change that he has delivered for us. In just 5 months, we have seen 0 illegal aliens cross our southern border in the last 5 months.
Federal authorities prepare a sweeping immigration crackdown across Louisiana and Mississippi, signaling a dramatic escalation of enforcement. Internal documents reportedly revealed that the operation will deploy about 250 federal border agents in a coordinated 2-month initiative beginning December 1st. The 2-month mission, dubbed Swamp Sweep, is designed to target roughly 5,000 people across multiple communities in both Gulf South states. Agents are scheduled to arrive in New Orleans on November 21st, bringing equipment and vehicles ahead of the large-scale federal enforcement phase. As per reports, deployment zones will stretch from New Orleans through Jefferson, St. Bernard, and St. Tammany parishes before extending north toward Baton Rouge. Additional activity is also reportedly expected in the southeastern Mississippi, though federal officials say operational details remain intentionally limited. Homeland Security officials reportedly emphasize that they will not reveal tactical plans in advance, citing safety concerns for agents in the field. State leaders in Louisiana and Mississippi have not publicly responded, despite both governors historically backing the Trump administration. Mississippi Governor Tate Reeves previously authorized 200 National Guard troops to support federal security efforts in Washington, Louisiana. Governor Jeff Landry has similarly promoted cooperative law enforcement partnerships with federal authorities in recent months. The new operation expands a broader nationwide strategy that has already deployed immigration teams to major cities across the country. Recent federal actions have included targeted enforcement efforts in Los Angeles, Chicago, and most recently, Charlotte, North Carolina. Trump's border czar, Tom Homan, said that additional operations are being planned for New York City as part of the widening national crackdown.
You know that my background is in business, that I've served in Congress, that I've been a governor, and that now I am the Department of Homeland Security Secretary. And most people, when they first talked to me about that job, or even when they first heard my name, that President Trump would nominate me for that position, said, "How did that happen? Why would you want to do that job?" And I often tell them the story of when President Trump called me after he won the election. He gave me a phone call and he said, "Christy, you know, I heard that you might be interested in being in my cabinet and helping me when I get to the White House. What position would you be interested in?" He said, "I thought some people said maybe agriculture or interior. You know, what were you thinking?" And I said, "Sir, I would be interested in being your Homeland Security Secretary." And he said, "Why would you want to do that job?" And of course, he was picturing Mayorkas and how he was doing that job. And I said, "Sir, I want to do that job because it is your #1 priority. You have talked across this country and told people you were going to secure the border, that you were going to deport people who are here illegally, that you were going to enforce our laws, and you're going to have somebody who's actually tough enough to do it. Somebody who recognizes that this is a big job, that it's not going to just take 2, 3, 6 months, that it is going to take a period of time, and it will be something that we will have to be steadfast in and to make sure that we're enforcing our laws and that they apply equally to everyone." He gave me the opportunity to do the job and trusted me, and I am so grateful that he did. The Department of Homeland Security was created after 9/11. It was created after that terrible terrorist attack, and the mission of the department is to secure the homeland with integrity and with honor. And so we have jurisdiction over every single person that lives in this country, would go leave this country or come in, either legally or illegally, when we bring them into justice and take them out. We also have jurisdiction over every product or good that is in this country, would be shipped in or exported as well. And we have jurisdiction over the internet, whatever is said or what is sold or done or communicated. So as you can see, the authorities of the department are large. There are 23 different agencies that were combined under the department back when it was created. And they're very diverse. You know, because we talk almost every day about the border, that we are responsible for CBP and for ICE, which is our enforcement operation on the interior of the country. But we also have jurisdiction over the Secret Service. They are under our umbrella. We have FEMA in the department. FEMA is responsible not just for disasters, which you have experienced in this state, but also for the continuation of government. If the worst of the worst happens in this country and we're so devastated that our government seems unsustainable, it would be the agency of FEMA that's responsible to make sure that our government would continue and function and serve the people. We also have intelligence agencies in the department. INA helps collect data and partners with the CIA, FBI, and other agencies to make sure that we're staying in front of terrorist attacks and threats that we have across the world. We have weapons of mass destruction that we are responsible for and make sure are deployed appropriately and that we're wisely using the resources that we have in conjunction with the military. We train all the federal law enforcement officers in the country, whatever agency they would happen to go to, they would train under the department and then deployed to their different tasks and responsibilities that they would have. And then we also have the National Operations Center, which is the center that notifies the rest of government of things in the world that we need to be aware of. I tell people many times what I get is about 50 to 100 bad emails a day. If there is a earthquake in Argentina, I'm notified and then decide who to make sure other people in the government and White House know what is going on. If there's a terrorist attack in India, I am notified first and make sure that we handle it appropriately. If there's something that happens in one of our cities, a school shooting or a car bombing, something that would happen, it is the Department of Homeland Security that makes sure we take action to notify and respond appropriately to all of those threats. We also have TSA under the Department of Homeland Security. You can keep your shoes on now. I hope you're happy about that as well. But making sure that we are running appropriate and thorough security checks at our airports as people travel is incredibly important to our country, not just for those who would be vacationing, but many of those for business and how it keeps our economy thriving going forward as well. All of those different agencies work together to make sure that we are doing what we can to defend the homeland and get up every single day and focus on the priorities of this country. I'm so impressed with the individuals that serve in this department that are thrilled that under President Trump's leadership, they get to do their job again, that they get the chance to go out every single day and to enforce the law and treat people fairly under the law and make sure that America once again stands for integrity and for truth. In fact, you saw our recruitment campaign that we had with ICE, that we were recruiting 10,000 new agents to work with ICE, and we have today crossed over 200,000 applications for those 10,000 new jobs that would be created. People want to be a part of going out there and making their communities safer. And I remind people all the time, these agents live in these communities, and they want to be out there getting these dangerous criminals out of these streets and out of these schools and communities and housing areas where their kids and their family members live. We also have seen, though, a lot of rhetoric and attacks from Democrats, from the left, from people who don't love America as well, that have gone after them. 1,000% increase in attacks against our ICE officers. We've seen an 8,000% increase in death threats against these ICE officers. So one thing I want to ask you to do tonight is if you would go out and encourage a law enforcement officer every chance you get That would absolutely mean the world to them as they're out there doing and enforcing the law and following through on their oath that they have.